man's best friend? Depends on the man. Depends on the dog. Depends on the beer.
How's everybody doing? Thanks for dropping by. Just as a friendly reminder, if you could leave your shoes by the door. Last couple times Eric Weinbender's been pushing the envelope on my shoes off policy, let's just say. So, if you don't mind. Today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a while, just a recent spins type video. Listening stack, listening session, whatever you want to call it. Kind of have a lot of records. I'll probably cut some. So I'm just going to kind of rifle through it. Show a record. Words will come out of me like vomit. And then I'll try to do a short sound clip for these. We'll see. I'll try to do it a little fast, a little quicker, because I don't want this to be a really long video. It's probably going to be a little bit longer than normal. I was going to do new records. There's a couple things I'm still waiting on that I want to have before I do that. The next video will be more new releases. This goes, this stack of records. I'm going to start old and go new. It goes from 1969 till there is one 2020 release. It's about a year old. I don't think I've shown. There's a couple artists that I have shown before, but these are not these albums, I don't think. If I have, whatever. Yeah, stocked up on beer. This is from Portland, Oregon, something I hadn't had until recently. I think the brewery is called Breakside. Maybe. I think it's just Breakside IPA. It's in a big can. It says employee owned. It also says tastes like vinyl sounds. I think that's really the only reason that, the only thing you need to know in order to have some of this beer is that it tastes like vinyl sounds. First up, this is an album from 1969. This is like a reissue from a couple of years ago. Originals of this are, I think, over $1,000. And I would not pay $1,000, so I wouldn't even come close to paying $1,000 for this record. This is called Apryl Fool. It's a self-titled album. This is like a super group of sorts. It has it's a Japanese psychedelic blues rock band. Album came out in 1969. It has Hiromi Hisano on bass and Takashi Matsumoto on drums. It's really bluesy, psychedelic rock kind of jam. It's a lot of jamming. It's not terrible, but I would really not want to pay, personally, I would not want to pay $1,000. I don't think this album is worth anywhere near $1,000 myself. But it's not bad. It's just maybe not. I've only probably listened to it because I've only had it a couple of years. I bought it blind off of the hype sticker. It's also on an Australian label, Survival Research, and it says not exportable to the USA. So something to keep in mind. Next, also from 1969, this is Toronto pop psych group Kensington Market. Album is called Ardvaark. This is their second and final LP. I think that they put out their first LP in 68 and then this one in 69 and then pretty much broke up right after that. So some of this I like a lot. Some of it not as much. I don't think this album was successful at all. The kind of Baroque pop, kind of feeling out their own way. Kensington Market, Ardvaark, 1969.
Won't somebody help me through it all? Nobody sees my ways at all. Funny, I think I've seen it all. Give me just 1 minute of your time. I need your hand to help me climb. Seems like I'm slipping all the time.
I mentioned there's really no rhyme or reason to this. It's just I'm just flashing some crap on the screen and then moving on. And like I say, we're getting progressively newer. This is the 1982 album from the television personalities. It's called Mummy, You're Not Watching Me. I don't know if the way this, if the typo is on purpose or what. So this is a 1986 UK reissue of the 1982 album. The original album has different artwork. So this is London post-punk band. There's a not only is the album title just have a typo in it, but this is as a mispress where the first song on side 2 is listed as the same song as the first song on side 1, Adventure Playground. It's actually David Hockney's Diaries. So I don't think this is a highly regarded album of theirs. Their second LP has like dark, odd lyrics. I find it fairly enjoyable overall, but it's probably not really for everybody. television personalities. Mummy, You're Not Watching Me. Up to 1995. This is the debut album from Chavez, Glimmering, out of New York City. Indie rock. I guess indie rock kind of influenced by post-punk and post-rock groups. They got back together and put out an EP in 2017. I think they were going to release what would be their third album. So this is their first album, I think in 1996. This is their second album. And then they kind of fizzled out. This is, I think, 20th anniversary pressing of this. Chavez, Glimmering. Another one I listened to a couple times here the last few weeks. This is San Francisco indie pop band, the Eiler Set. This is their final LP called How I Learned to Write Backwards. This has a very full sound for something that was just recorded, in a basement. has like 60s like girl group harmonies with kind of garagey guitar pop, horns, keyboards, a lot of like non-traditional rock arrangements, I would say. Yeah, and I like all three of their albums. This is their third album. Another artist I've showed a different album of theirs. I showed their third album. This is their second album from Melbourne, Australia. This is the group Dick Diver. Calendar Days is the album. This came out in 2013. This is the US. It wasn't pressed in the US. I don't remember, maybe 2 or 3 years after that, on Trouble in Mind Records. So this is just smart, jangly guitar pop, carries the Go-Betweens torch, so to speak. Again, all three of their LPs worth checking out. This is still an active band, unlike the Eiler set who I showed before, who are no longer. Hype sticker has a quote from Henry Rollins. Henry Rollins apparently a fan, if that does anything for you. I listened to this one because they have the group has an EP coming out next month, I think. This is a band that I was originally somewhat aware of because they're from Minneapolis. The name of the group is Real Numbers, and the album is Wordless Wonder. It's kind of a short, it's almost what I would call a mini LP. It's like 23 minutes, something like that. And it's obviously it's 12 inches. And it spins at 45 RPM for sound quality. So I think on this album they're a 4-piece. I think originally they were a trio. I think also originally they were more of a more influenced by punk. I would say this is more the usual C86 Sarah Records kind of influences, energetic, jangly guitars, a little post-punk maybe, but you know, mostly catchy, a little bit rough around the edges songs. They're called Real Numbers. Wordless Wonder. This is their debut LP from 2016. They have an album, new album coming out. This one is, I don't remember exactly when, but sometime this year they have a new album coming out, so I pulled this to listen to. Name of the group is Pale Lights. The album is Stars Seemed Brighter. This is a second press, which has a different album cover. I think that the original pressing, I think I prefer that album cover, but I like this too. This group out of Brooklyn. It's their second LP. I think all their LPs are recorded by Gary Olson from Ladybug Transistor. And pretty much if you like Ladybug Transistor or Great Lakes or Lucksmiths or Mendoza Line, this is something worth checking out. I listened to this a bunch of times recently after not listening to it for a little while. So this is a 2017 release, but this pressing is just from a couple of years ago, 2019. I think it's German. I think it's German press. Pale Lights, the stars seemed brighter.
I'm so tired of your rotten lies and your rash grandstanding. Say what you think, your words they sting. All we want is some purity. Your tea, bring the flowers into the room. We'll be lifted by those blooms. Bring the sunlight into our dark lives. With a beautiful smile and your kind words, every comfort a while.
One more. This is a 2020 album. I don't think that I've shown this. If I have, I have. This is somewhat associated, somewhat connected to the Luxembourg Signal that I showed recently. The singer Beth Arzi from this band was in there, and Aberdeen. So the group is Jetstream Pony, self-titled album, kind of a noise pop, dream pop thing. Like I say, the lead singer was in Luxembourg Signal, was also in Trembling Blue Stars. The guitar, I can't remember people's names. Sean Charman, he was in The Wedding Present. So Beth is from California, and then I think that the other members are from England. Yeah, so, you know, maybe a little shoegaze, dream pop thing. I like this a lot. It's a good record. Jetstream Pony from 2020. So hopefully this didn't, I think we did okay with the time. If it turns out to be too long, you won't notice. I'll cut something out. Next video should be new, like 2021 releases or thereabouts. Yeah, thanks for dropping by.